Alright guys, what's happening? It's Brandon here. Coming to you with another swing trade idea here, ticker CMD. It's cantelmedicalcorporation.com. So we are going to take a little breakdown here and check this out. As you can see, this thing's been channeling on the daily chart here quite well, respecting its highs and lows and trend lines, and after a slight miss here and a huge overreaction, it's broken out of the channel. And if we take a look at the 5-day 5-minute here, I've been watching this for the last 2 days. This thing came up on my short potential scanner back here a couple of weeks ago, actually. Where would that be? It came up on my short scanner right around here, about 518. This is a short potential scan that I had, so maybe looking for that first red day. But kept it on a paper watch list that I have sitting on here, and now this looks like now that it had its gap down here. And today it finally put in a few levels we can work with for a swing trade. So let's go through a few of those levels. Looking at the 5-day 5-minute chart here on the first day of gap down, this thing just, pretty much shit out, killed itself, hit VWAP, shit out again. And that was most likely people listening to this conference call. And as things getting a little haywire and somebody said something a little silly, and then big institution was at VWAP, and they're like, no, it got pressed down. So finding this bottom at 108.40. Now, as we come into yesterday here, she popped right back up into this test here about 113.17 or so. Came up here and failed that, and then it failed the bottom of this candle from previous day too, this little channel candle that I have marked out here, and just made a couple lower highs and kind of sold off. But more importantly, though, it did create a higher low off of previous day lows, right? So the two things we're going to look for is to see if this holds that 108.40. If we get a couple more bounces here and it doesn't quite, come up and it tests this 108.40, we see how strong it is in the next couple days. That might be a good position to start with. If it does happen to fail the 108.40, though, we're going to be looking at the next trend line down for support, which is right here at this 106.80s area right here. If it does happen to come down past here, break down that 108.40, next catch closer to the 200 EMA here is going to be around that 106.80s. I don't see it going back down that far. I think it's gained a lot of support, as you can see after breaking down the lower trend line here off the channel. It popped up, broke right through it, and then got sucked right back down. So it looks like someone's really trying to hold this down right at this level here. And now the levels that we're going to try to get in at is 108.40, or see how it holds up around there to start a small position. You can start acquiring shares, 20, 10 shares, 15, 30 shares, whatever. Nothing crazy. Start nibbling at the bottom there. Real low risk then. You can risk at least $2 down to that 106.80s level we're talking about for the secondary entry. I have this magic blue line, I like to call it, drawn here, and this is the profit taker line. This is where I would like to see the first part of the shares come off to prepare ourselves here at about 111.10. And I have that in here because it matches up pretty well with the lower channel line, is what you're looking at right here, that crosses through these two lower days. So as we could see it hold 108.40, I'd like to see it stair step up and start breaking some of these levels and holding through these levels, mainly recovering the 50 EMA and VWAP. After it does that, it should have a nice little ramp, and if it does break these previous highs here, 112, 113, more the better. But the first pay line here we're going to take is this consolidation and gap down here, and that's only because it's at the bottom of this channel. Usually, a lot of the times, you're going to see a gap down play. We're looking for a nice dead cat bounce. There was one today. A lot of points there to be made, but I'm looking for another one to maybe start a stair stepper up here, and I'd like to see it come up and at least start taking profit at 111. That's the target if you can get in near 108.45. So about 2.5 points here to work with as far as if it catches support here. If not, down to 106s, might hover around the 200 for a while, but I think this is a huge overreaction. They missed like 1.7 million or something super close, and that was projected, and that was only because tax and currency change and a couple other things that I was reading about. So there's that. But yeah, this is going to be a swing trade idea here for this week coming up, you could actually keep this on for a day trade as well. There's a lot of levels to work with now that the gap down has started to break sideways and find a higher low here. I would look for it to hold the 108.40 and give you a nice couple pop candles here like it did before. Look for it to recover the moving averages and start taking profit. The first swing trade target would be to get in at 108.40s. If that holds up, just kind of watch it, keep it on the side monitor or your phone or mobile, and try to get 2.5 points at about 111, because that's before the channel. So a ton of resistance is that channel that we're talking about, this lower here. So as it comes up, it might hit its head on this lower channel multiple times before it reclaims these this trend and comes back into the channel. So you just want to be careful and take your profit before it runs into this channel right here, because there's a lot of times where the dead cat bounce will come up, hit that channel, and then have another gap down. You don't want to get in at 108 and 84 and not pay yourself up here. Then it cracks down back to the 200, and then takes another couple weeks to climb all the way back up here in your bag holding for that time. So you're not going to want to do that. But the reason, this corresponding resistance right here, this is previous support at this 111.10. See, it marked multiple times on the daily here, support here, all through these tops, support here, support here, support here. That's why it's new resistance. That's why I drew that magic blue line there for profit taking. It does correspond with the lower channel as well. So this is going to be a really good spot to take profit safely. So nice little swing trade idea on CMD. Keep that on watch. Could be a day trade as well for you guys. And we'll get some more ideas here coming up Monday or Tuesday. All right, hope you guys are having a good weekend.